G'day. Tuesday morning at the lab. I think it's Tuesday. It's raining. It's not particularly nice outside, so of course I'm in the workshop. Makes no difference if it's raining or not. I'm still in the workshop, but you just might not be able to hear me if it's raining heaps. Big breath. So this morning I just kind of stood around. It's actually getting a little bit. Time's getting on. It's 9:30. Stood around looking at. I'm going to attack this. No, I don't want to do it. Oh, I'll attack that. No, I don't want to do it. So not much has happened, but I've decided to attack one thing that involved taking off the driver's door. So that's like going to the gym. Let's put that puppy on the scales. Right, big. It is actually, yeah, it is really, I'll say that. It's definitely as big. It looks like a small car, but these doors are a significant piece of metal. So inside here, we've already done the obligatory chop everything out that is on the inside of the door. It's all gone. There's no crash intrusion beams. There's nothing. It's a really thin aluminium panel on there, which you have to have. And it was flocked by Mike Shaw fiberglass, and I've worn it off somehow. It's just a driver habit thing. I must push against it or grab hold of it with my hand or something. It needs to be tidied up, which he's offered to do for free. Good fella that he is. Now, it might be a bit difficult to weigh this because I can't actually pick that up with one hand. Far out. I can if I try. Okay. Now it's got my thumb just steadying that. Now I'm a weak puppy, am I? Oh, apparently I'm weak. 22 kgs, is it? Something like that. Can't see the screen very well. 22 kgs, I'll call it. It actually feels like a lot more than that when you try and pick it up. So, there's two of those in the car. I reckon carbon fibre ones would be about 3 kgs. Maybe 4, and they'd be nice and strong and real good. So 16 slide, 32 kgs we can take out of the car, I think, if my maths is correct. Yes, 32. Gee whiz skiz. So any any retired carbon fibre specialists who want to come and spend a few days at the lab, we can get our hands on some moulds for these puppies. Actually, another chap by the name of Glenn, funnily enough, with another K12 March 3-door race car. The likelihood of that, but there you go. He's offered me to loan us some. Door came off because when I lowered the front subframe, I've forgotten how far it went, 10, 15 millimeters or whatever, we changed the geometry of the steering shaft here, and this is now crashing into that steel panel there. Knock, knock, jam, very tight, freeing up, crash, crash, crash. That actual concave little, what are we going to call that? Fairing? Is it a fairing? Not really socket. That component of the firewall there, there's just a little section that's welded on. There's the edge of it that goes down there underneath my, that should be carbon fibre too, really. Yeah, let's do that later. That'll be easy. That doesn't have to be there anymore. That can absolutely go away. Yes, there was a more colourful word in my mind that I was going to use there, but chose not to. So I'm going to whip that out, which is going to take 2 seconds, right? Because there are pedals in the way and steering shaft in the way and floor panel and all that sort of carry on. And I'm going to make a new one of those that's just flat out of aluminium, and then we're going to secure it to the firewall. There's multiple ways to do that. We can bond it, we can rivet it, we can nuts and screws, nuts and bolts, nutserts and screws, which is probably what I'm going to do for serviceability later on. Even could potentially even make a carbon fibre piece to go in there and stuff that in there. And instead, carbon fibre is going to burn a lot easier than aluminium. Let's get this thing out of here. I guess we'll weigh it. Why not? Just while we're doing it. Well, that definitely looks super attractive in there, doesn't it? Not. So just in case you couldn't see it clearly, that is the panel that is about to be dismembered, disemboweled, pulled to bits, removed, gone. It didn't come out exactly the way I wanted it to come out. Actually tore the firewall. I'll use that term loosely. It's so thin you could actually push the scraper by hand along here thinking you were cutting the sealant, and it's busy cutting through the steel. So there's a small section missing that I didn't actually want to take out, but it doesn't matter because I think the panel will look nicer going to that line, or perhaps all the way out to here anyway, and down to a decent thickness. That's the chassis rail there along those welds. Good structure there, good structure there. So we'll just take it all the way out to there. Yes, it is rusty in there. Actually, most cars are in between seams and people never ever get to see it. It's looking a little bit better. Not worried about this rogue hole in this corner here. That can stay there, it'll be fine. So at this point in time, I guess we're taking a relatively large hole and fitting a Nissan March race car around it. That's okay. What I'm going to do next is figure out where the hole in that panel actually needs to be for this shaft that goes through there. Actually, what I'm going to do next is buff those up because I don't like rusty things. Figure out where the hole needs to be and what I'm going to do for a actual seal as such. It would be nice if the steering rack ended up in a good place to put proper, like an oil seal around this area here. Perhaps we're going to need one that's got a lot of flex, so we might have to talk to our mates at Waikato Bearings, because that steering rack isn't hard mounted. It's mounted on the original rubber mount, so it does move around a little bit. We probably could do away with that actually and lock it in there a bit tighter. The car might feel a little bit nicer to drive perhaps. That's not terrible. Like I've said, don't worry, there's air you can see through there. Fire will get through there, piece of cake. There will be some sort of seal going on there. I'll figure that out when I get there. That's probably enough fasteners to secure it. The 4.8mm diameter rivets, they'll be biffed and replaced with the quite common on this car 6mm stainless steel dome head screws and nutserts into there. Next, I guess I should put the pedals back in, shouldn't I really, just to keep them somewhere out of the way. Goey, stoppy, changey, geary thing. Actually, not changey, geary things anymore, is it? It's just that one there's just stop and start, really. It's going to be awesome. All those things are back in. I know what you're thinking. Yes, a pedal box would be nice. A little bit of money tangled up in that, and plumbing and time and all that sort of carry on. We'd have to do an underfloor arrangement because of the firewall setup on this car. That assembly right there, she's pretty heavy. I didn't weigh it just now, but when I took it out I was like, holy heck, that probably weighs more than the entire pedal boxes, depending on the brand that you get. What do you reckon? Should I do a carbon fibre tread plate? Like make a new one like that, use it for a mould and then do it in carbon fibre just to annoy everyone? Is that a good idea? Okay, so I've been away, I've had lunch, I've had a bit of a chat on the phone to someone about some things, pedals and stuff. And while I was doing that, I was looking at the car. This is all normally hidden by the dash, right? And I do want to run the dash. I'm not going to, oh, excuse me, crashing and bashing my way into here. I'm not going to run it, let's call it naked, sans dash like this. It just, I mean, it'll be lighter, it'll be faster. It just doesn't look right, in my opinion. I want to try, ironically, and retain some of the looks of the original car. It's kind of in the rules, sort of, that it has to resemble a production vehicle or whatever. So if you take the dash out and stuff, it doesn't as much. No, I don't think anyone will complain, but that's just me. That's just my thinking. These box things here, they're hanging off the side with this bracket that holds the edge of the dash, the ends of the dash. I don't think we need those anymore, eh? I think I can just make a little aluminium bracket that screws onto the bodywork there and replicates what these are doing. And what do we reckon? 600 grams? It'll be quite a bit. Relatively chunky piece of gear. Let's do that. Not gonna lie, this is fun. Does someone want to come and take the cage out so I can get this bracket out? Where's my big hammer? We're running out of day, but I guess some of you will want to know. That's what came out for that particular part. Well, it's reasonable, isn't it? Oof, we'll be more than the kg today. 478. I'll write this down or I'll forget them. 477. Oh. I wish all the parts would just lose weight like that in the car. Now, there's a little bit went back in from that, so let's not get too carried away with it. I don't think we can weigh all of this all at one time. Oh, easily a kg. How much stuff can we stack up on the scales before it all falls down? No, I can't do that. 15, 13. It doesn't weigh much, that one. It does. 4, 8, 5. 7 and 3 and 10 is 10 rather, plus 5 is 15. 5 carry the 1. 9, 16. 6 carry the 1 over there. That's 10, that's 14. There. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2,465 grams today. 2.5 kgs ish. A little bit's gone back in, and a little bit more will go back in to replicate these brackets. A couple of kgs out of the car today. It's not bad. All I really wanted to achieve was that we don't have the steering universal hitting the doofer thingy on the firewall, and we can actually get to the grub screws to check that they are secure a lot easier than we could before, so that's good. It's lighter, it's cleaner, tidier, safer. Very good. Very good. Okay. I'll see if I can find something else to do just before the end of the day. We are 4:30. I did find something to do. There's a big hole there. That should make it nice and warm for driving in winter. We'll carry on with this one tomorrow. Right, cheers for watching. See you, bye.